we're trying to get set up here and shoot a really nice old 73, but gonna have to run all these varmints off our range before we can get set up here. Looks like it's been a good winter for them. We've got a lot of deer running around on the ranch this spring. Grass is coming good, and they'll be heading higher on the up into the high country here shortly, I imagine. There they go. They're starting to get a little nervous anyway. Well, welcome to the Cinnabar. Now that we got them old mule deer run off of our shooting range, it's time to shoot a pretty special old 1873 Winchester. See, this one's a 3840 octagon barrel, high percentage of blue, shotgun butt. But what makes this one kind of special is it was a color case hardened receiver, and it's still got a lot of its beautiful case colors on it. Now this one also has a near perfect bore, so I'm thinking it's going to be a real good shooter. So it's a beautiful day out here on the Cinnabar to shoot a beautiful old Winchester. Let's get to it. So here's a little closer look at this beautiful 73, and we can see we've got a high percentage of the case colors. Now some of them are fading, even on the side plate here where the case colors seem to go away the fastest because that's the high point and it gets a lot of wear. That we've still got pretty good case colors. We've got them on the lever and on the hammer. If you can see right behind in the protected area here, there's really bright, vibrant case colors. Now one of the things that we get a little concerned about is if we see those really bright, vibrant case colors throughout the whole receiver, really need to look it over pretty closely, because it's pretty unusual for a rifle to survive 120 to 150 years and keep those bright, vibrant case colors. Not that they aren't out there, but that's a pretty rare occurrence. This is a real good example of what original case colors would typically look like. We've got a little high point wear here where it's been carried. We've got a little roughness in spots where there's been a little moisture over the years, but by and large this one has a pretty high percentage of its case colors remaining. And we know that this hasn't been just a closet queen, because we can see back here a ranch brand. Looks like a Rockin' B or an RF, and on the other side there are several kill marks. If we turn it over, we can have a look at that and look at the high percentage of blue here on the dust cover and on the barrel. On this other side, we've got a similar amount of case colors here, and here's quite a few kill marks here. So this old girl's been out and put some meat on the table as well. So let's take a few shots with it and just see if it shoots as good as it looks. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is put a couple of shots on paper just to see where this thing's shooting. You know, I've always been a big fan of the 4440, but lately every 3840 I've shot has just shot the lights out. So I'm kind of hoping this one with such a nice bore is going to kind of be the same way. If we can get it kind of dialed in, then maybe we'll even take a few longer shots with it. I love shooting our milk jugs, but some people kind of like those longer shots as well. Been kind of clamoring for me to do some more longer range shooting. So let's just take a couple here and see where we are on paper real quick. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so I have to admit I'm kind of a cheapskate and was reusing this target, and you can see these others were marked here from a gun that didn't shoot nearly so well. We can see our two shots here are right at the edge of the bullseye and a little bit high, which is exactly where we'd like to see them. So I'm pretty excited. I don't have to spend a whole lot of time and ammunition getting this one sighted in. It's ready to go right out of the box. Now I do have to admit I had a certain sense of urgency about coming out here and shooting this rifle today. You see, this one just came into the shop just a couple of days ago, and we're getting ready to pack up to go to the big Colorado Gun Collectors Show in Greeley, Colorado here shortly, and this one will be on the table. So I didn't want to miss an opportunity to shoot this rifle. You know, I'd really try to shoot every rifle that I sell. I don't always get the opportunity to, but you know, it's just so much better to be able to say this is a good shooting rifle rather than, well, it looks like it ought to be a good shooting rifle. And besides, what a heck of a lot of fun to get to shoot these old guns. Okay, so we're going to load up 10 here. Just kind of get comfortable shooting this thing. See if we can't hit a little steel and maybe a milk jug or two. Let's try our steel first. Right in the middle. Dead center in the middle again. Oh, what a shooter. Oh, how did I miss? I pulled that one like an idiot. Okay, ought to have at least one more here. Oh, one more yet. Oh, heck, I didn't count worth a darn. Boy, those are right in the center of the steel there. There we are. Oh, what a great shooting rifle. This thing shoots as good as it looks. Why don't we back up and see how she shoots from a distance? Okay, so we've paced off back here about 100 yards, and we're going to try to hit that jug on the right up there on the stand. Now, usually I don't take a whole lot of long-range shots, and there's a reason for that. I'm a lot better instinct shooter when these sights line up the way I like them to shoot off instinct. The more time I have to aim, the more time I have to mess up. But we'll see how this goes. I'm sure this gun can shoot a whole lot better than I can. These are cowboy action loads, so I'm going to shoot a little high. That sounded like a hit, but it sure don't look like one. Okay, we'll try it again. Oh, definitely that time. Oh, but I knocked the other one off. So we're going to have to trundle back up there and set that other one back up, and then we're going to move back a little more. So it actually did hit twice. So we got one that was high up here and one right here at the bottom. Now remember, I was shooting high because of these cowboy action loads, so I was shooting right at the top here. So we had about 4 or 5 inches of drop at 100 yards, which is about to be expected. The second one I aimed right for the center, and we still got about 4 or 5 inches. We hit a little bit to the right, but not too bad. So we're going to have to hold over a little more and back up as far as we can back that way, and we'll go after this other jug. Okay, we've backed up a little further. I wanted to go to 200 yards, but backed up all the way here, and we're right on the edge of kind of a wet, swampy area, so we're at about 180, so that's where we're going to fire from. And we're just a little ways off. If you watched the episode a year or two ago where I killed a buck with a 1895 flat side at about this same distance. Of course, 3040 Craig's a little flatter shooting round than this 3840, so we're going to aim just right at the top of that jug and see what happens. This front sight covers the entire jug, so any bobble and I'm out of there. Dank nabbit. Sounded like a hit, but I don't think it did. There, we got a hit. I can see the red mist and the pouring out of it, so that's a dandy shooting rifle. Offhand here, 180 yards, 3840. Let's see if we can't hit one of those steels. Nope. Oh, right over the top. I could see the dust fly. Shot too high, trying to outguess myself. There we go, that's a hit. Well, that was great fun, and this old girl shoots as good as she looks. A whole lot better than I can shoot her. That long range shooting there at the end was for my good friend Mark Yucca. He's been after me for a couple of years to start taking longer range shots with these old Winchesters. He does a lot of long range shooting with his. Like to see what maybe she could do with something a little more than cowboy action loads. Well, hopefully we'll see you in a week or two over at the Colorado Gun Collectors Show in Greeley. This old beauty will be on the table and a few others. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Until next time, happy trails from the Cinnabar.